What's up, guys? Look at that hair, it's nice. So got a little explaining to do. I've been lagging really hard on making vlogs, and for good purpose though. So about a week ago, I started walking back on my feet. I got to use a crutch for now, or a cane or whatever, but just happy to be back on my feet and starting that whole process to recovering and all that stuff. But I've been really busy and really hyper focused on trying to get past the pain and the soreness and build some muscle back in my legs so I can you know, walk pain free and really not mess anything up along the process. So anyways, so that explains kind of why or where I've been and why I haven't been making videos. I've sort of been a little more active and having less pain when I'm doing stuff. So I drove up here to our shop. This is kind of Circuit Spirit headquarters, but also it's a shop that I share with two of my best friends that I run Circuit Spirit with. And we just kind of store our drift cars here and work on them here and all that stuff. But I'll give you a little tour, and then I'm gonna try and do some work on my car, so I'll try and video most of that. But this is the showroom. We really don't have anything in here other than a couch and coffee table and some of our merchandise that we sell at our events, and then a random Nismo wheel. This is our office. I work remotely, so this is my desk. I don't really keep anything here other than, you know, stuff that I can fit in a backpack. My buddy Adam's desk, he also kind of works remotely. And then Jesse, he kind of runs things around here, so he has all the appropriate stuff to do so. And now I'll take you into the fun stuff. This is where we do a lot of work on our cars and kind of just keep them drift ready and all that good stuff. But here's this is Adam's car. He just got his painted, super clean. This thing's a rocket ship. I want to do some like build breakdowns, or like, I don't want to steal that name from anybody, but just kind of like some, I don't know, what's behind the build. And I want to do it on Adam's car, my car, and Jesse's car at some point, so stay tuned for those videos. But if you guys want to see stuff like that, then comment below, let me know. Back to the cars though. So here's my car. I'm sure you guys have seen this on my Instagram or Twitter or whatever. I have my side skirts off right now because I'm gonna put it on the lift. This lift's freaking rad. Such a nice thing to have. You don't really realize how much you need a lift until you have one, and how nice it is to work on your stuff. There's my S13. I'm in the process of selling this to my buddy Mikey right now, but this thing has been super fun for the past, should have had it for like 2 years now. And it's been really fun. As you can see, I still have the ugly green calipers in the front, which I've been meaning to paint for the past 2 years. Shout out to Tyler. I know you hate those things as much as I do. This is Jesse's car. This is 350Z. He's got his hood popped right now because he's been working on these fenders. It is really hard to find fenders that fit a 350Z, or people that make good kits for 350Zs, I should say. So he is, as you can see, cut it, he's expanding them, and then he's gonna fill that with fiberglass and make it look all nice. Right now it's in the early process, so it doesn't look as nice as it's gonna. But this thing is insane. It makes about, I think about 450 horsepower, maybe 500. It's a turbocharged VQ. And you can see he's got a pretty gnarly roll cage in here. Full, like 6-point, some pretty crazy door bars. Hold on one second. Door bars, got the Rasta shift boot. This thing's insane. This was like, I was so jealous of Jesse when he got this car. This is kind of why I got into drifting, was because of Jesse, and he's kind of showed me the ropes. But anyway, so I'm gonna get back to this thing. I gotta align it, which I'm really not looking forward to do because I do not know how to align cars, but I've watched people do it enough, and I've kind of studied it while I've been hurt, and hopefully I can get it somewhat aligned. As you can see, the front is pretty cambered out right now, opposed to the back, which is kind of drift setup, right? We run -6 degrees in the front, and then usually about positive ½ a degree in the rear. But this thing is way too cambered in the front. And most of that reason was to get the wheels to fit in the wheel well. But this little interior shot, I still haven't fully finished the interior. I got a head unit, and obviously that trim's missing right now, but it's over there on the floor. But my whole goal behind building this thing was to kind of make it like as street style as possible. I've gone through that whole phase of like building a car that's like, I don't know, like FD spec or like Pro 2, which, I mean, there's definitely a market for that and definitely people that appreciate that, but I wanted to keep this thing as comfortable and like as street style as possible, and just build like a badass car that, like, I don't know, to influence, I guess, the next generation of drifters or whatever. But this thing is, this is my dream car, so I'm super stoked to kind of have this thing where it's at and be like 95% done. I just got to finish up the last like 5% here in the next couple weeks, and then I'm gonna go drift it. Okay, so I got this thing on the lift, and the way that I'm kind of trying to set the angle, or the angle of the camber right now is, so with this Powered by Max angle kit, which you can kind of see better. You can turn this thing. This is full angle kit under here, and then the Powered by Max limit break coil. So they come with these offset spacers. This one's offset just a little bit to give it more kind of, I guess, positive camber, and then you adjust the camber up on the shock tower. But so that one is, you can see the bolt is just off-centered that way. And since I got smaller wheels right here, I can hopefully fit a completely centered offset. So this one right here, you can see the top bolt is completely centered. I'll show you from the front. So there, so it's completely centered right there. And I'm hoping that, because the way that it works is when you put the wheel on, you know, you have to have enough clearance so it doesn't hit this. You can see I have some rub marks from my old setup because I was trying to find the right angle that I want to run at. So I want to be able to run this wheel with that center offset, just so I don't have any more like scrub, I guess you could call it, with the way that the strut is, or whatever coilover is angled. I don't want to have any more scrub than I have to. So hopefully this works. I'll throw on the wheel and update you guys in a second. Okay, so bad news. I threw on that spacer like I showed you guys, threw on the wheel, and it's hitting really badly still. I was hoping with this skinnier wheel that I'd be able to hit it, that I'd be able to run this, but as you can see right here, it's hitting pretty bad. So I'm gonna have to throw on that offset spacer again and try and align this thing. Fuck, I really wanted to run this center one, but when cars are so low, it turns out it's a tight fit everywhere. So you gotta, I don't know. Like, sometimes I wish we drove off-road trucks because there's so much room to work on things and like so much clearance everywhere, as far as I know, at least from the outside looking in. But with drift cars, you want to make everything as low as possible, look as cool as possible, like slammed. And unfortunately, with a lot of angle and very little suspension and really tight wheel clearance, things are way too tight sometimes. So I'm gonna throw that on, try and get this thing aligned in a second. Okay, so I put the original spacers back in to kind of get the camber even on each side. Like I said, I tried running those centric ones and it just wasn't working. Like, there was too much camber versus what the shock angle is at, and it was hitting the strut like I showed you guys before. So now put those back, and I didn't want to run as much camber in the front as I was. I wanted to be at about 7 or 8 negative degrees of camber. So I was at like 9 or 10, I think. So this was slid all the way forward on the camber plate. So I kind of just put my camber adjuster or measure or whatever on the disc, checked out what it was, and then just followed it until it ran till 7 on the lift. So at, you know, on the ground, it's gonna be about 8. I wish I could run a little less camber, but as you can see, my fitment isn't going to allow me. That's, the lift is still pulling it up, but once it's down, it is really close. So I don't want to get too close. So for now, that's what I'm gonna run it at until I come up with another solution. Now I have to do this side. So this is kind of what the kit comes as you can see, it's like one hole over. You can see the distance between the, you know, where the camber plate and the top of the coilover are, and then on this side you can see where I put it at. It's like slid way further to the right, so the shock is essentially more up and down, which I think will be better. But also, like I said, I kind of have to run it like that in order to run the right camber that I want to. So going to match this side now and kind of see where we're at. This side should fit fine. I've had plenty of clearance on this side. I made a minor adjustment. You can see I'm running like freaking, it's almost like 11 or 12 degrees negative camber, which is terrible. So, so I get asked this a lot on my like social media stuff, why the front is angled so much, or negative camber as we call it. The reason that is so that when you're drifting, when the wheels are fully locked, the front tire has the most weight on it. So when that's turned, it's gonna be flat. The most, tire surface is gonna be on the ground. Since it's cambered this way, then it turns and then it straightens up. So that's the whole theory behind it. Obviously with drifting over the years, there's been a lot of development and settings, and that's kind of one of the things that I've followed, and that seems to be the whole, sticking between like -6, -8 degrees of camber seems to be the best depending on how much angle you get. And then in the back we run positive ½ degree of camber. So this is at like -2 right now, but you want it to be like that way, so that when you accelerate and it squats, when the wheel comes up, it'll be pretty much flat. So you're trying to get as much tire surface onto the ground, front and rear, as possible. So that's kind of the whole theory behind that. Another thing I get asked a lot is why I made such a beautiful car and put zip ties in the front. Well, my bumpers are both zip tied on right there, and again right here in the front. The reason that we do that is because when we go, God forbid we go off track, or hit something or hit someone, you want the bumpers to come off as easily as possible and not take anything with them. So run the zip ties. It kind of just lets it quick release if it needs to, and sometimes it doesn't, which is good. Like if you hit something and your bumpers stay on with your zip ties, that means you didn't hit it very hard, so it's good. But that's the whole reason behind it. I hope that clears things up. Hopefully you guys can understand my reasoning for putting zip ties and not like fastening them on with bolts. It wasn't because I was trying to cut corners, it was just because that's kind of the best thing that we found over the years to do for bumpers. All right guys, so I finally got both camber adjustments kind of set and where I want them, where I hope that it clears. I hope I don't get too much rubbing, but here, check it out. So this side's the same now. Got about, a finger distance in there. I know it's the same because this is in the third hole. This was the side that was giving me problems, so I'm really stoked to have this side done. Same 3 holes back, and then there's another bolt under here that you can't see. And then camber is, I think it's at about -8 degrees right now. This side I was really, for whatever reason, this side has a tighter fit than that side. You can see looking down on it, like, don't have much clearance. And then this isn't even set yet. I just took it down off the lift, so once it goes lower, I'm gonna have even less clearance. But looks cool, but it's kind of a pain in the ass. But clears the bumper. I already tested that. When the side skirt's on, it's really close. I had to trim it. And then this side has been pretty easy for me, luckily. Looking down on it, you can see it's a little more clearance. It's really tall on this side right now because, like I said before, I had it on the lift, brought it down, and it hasn't settled yet. So once I roll it like back and forth, it'll kind of settle in. Front bumper, I measured the caster adjustments underneath too. Those are both like equal distance. So really important, obviously, to have the same setting on each side, and I've accomplished that, which I'm really excited about. Now I got to do the back. I'm probably going to do the back tomorrow. I got to do toe on the front. I'll probably do that tomorrow also, but for now, I'm just gonna hang out. Jesse, we just got an order from Circuit Spirit, so Jesse and I just packaged that and sent it off to get shipped. I don't know if I showed you guys this before, but this is where we run Circuit Spirit out of. So that's all of our inventory. Obviously, t-shirts and all that kind of stuff isn't our like bread and butter. So like we should just kind of do that on the side. Our main thing is just the events, and where we make all of our money off of in order to support ourselves. Every dime that we make goes back into the company. This shop isn't really a necessity. It's more like, since we can have it, since we have the opportunity to have it with our cars, it's more for our cars, to work on them here. But anyways, this is inventory. This is where we ship everything. And I think like, boxes and all that good stuff, all small business stuff. But I think a lot of people, when they think of Circuit Spirit, they think of like, or when I mention Circuit Spirit, people think it's like one of my sponsors or something, but this is like something that I'm very passionate about and something that I own part of, 1/3 of. And so like when we get an order, it's not like, oh, I just helped this company out. It's literally like me and my friends come here and we ship out the order, and it's a lot of fun. It's crazy though, like being on the other side of it and kind of dealing with everything that we've had to get to this point. And a year in, we've had a lot of success, but we have a lot more to go, and I'm pretty excited about that, to kind of like grow this business with my 2 best friends. And I don't know, it's just something, like I said, I'm really passionate about. But I think that's gonna do it for today's video. I'm gonna come back tomorrow, so I'm gonna film again and probably get this out tomorrow also. So again, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, tell your friends about it. It's been fun. But I'll see you guys tomorrow, later on. There goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight.